Paint it black.
Oh, nice.
That's all I know.
All right. So for everybody's acknowledgement, and so that it is recorded for all eternity, I fucked up the last broadcast, so we're starting new. So
we're on our way to the Mournlands.
Yeah.
All right, take two.
Right. Who wants to do a recap?
All right. So Ano, give me a performance check.
Can I just play the real ukulele? No, I'm just
you
kidding.
You have advantage if you play.
I wish I knew how to play. Oh my god! All right. I'm gonna use an action point because I want this to rock. Oh god damn it! I'm rolling like shit.
Don't use another action point.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll use another action.
Hang on, just wait.
Gosh.
I give you a guiding thingy. What is it called? What's my stupid
Bardic inspiration?
No, I haven't got bardic inspiration. The other one. The priest versions. Yeah, guidance. Yeah, I give you a guidance.
Somebody
gives
you bardic inspiration.
It gives you an extra D4.
Okay.
Martha.
Ooh, I rolled a 4 with that. So 17.
Okay. You wait expectantly, but the song just kind of echoes off into the air. You don't know if it did have any kind of effect, but you have some sense that maybe if she's out there, Grace heard it.
Gives me comfort.
I played my heart out there.
All right. So, are you guys going in yet?
Got anything else?
Yeah, are there any other songs we need to play?
I don't think so.
Hello, Vatherond.
Well, Almorn, we're here at the Mist now. Are you happy? Let's go.
So, which direction is it that we're sensing the daughter is in from the doll? Can we sense that? Can we sense that continuously, or do we have to like stop?
No. So the doll is always flying and directing Tacitus, facing the way it needs to face. So basically, yeah. Busy. All right. So passing into the cloying mist is like entering an alien plane of existence. Like barely pierces through the shifting layers of vapor. Sounds become muffled and distant, and even when produced nearby, they seem to disassociate. The place has a narrow, ominous feel to it, and a feeling of isolation and growing dread builds within you as you travel deeper into the mist. Even with the magic of Grace's doll, the mist makes it difficult to navigate by sight. Notice the landscape transition as you pass through. The gentle yellow grass yellows and dries as you move farther into the Mournland. Eventually, the grass vanishes completely, giving way to barren earth. The terrain roughens, the mist slowly revealing deep scars upon the land, as well as areas where the ground seems to have turned to glass. From the glass, there are spikes and blade-like protrusions, some rising up nearly as high as your waist. You must pass these areas with caution, lest you injure yourself. If you test these spikes and blades, you find them to be as sharp as any obsidian axe. As you continue through the mist, you find the breath being stolen from your chest, making your breathing quicker and shallower. Everybody takes a level of exhaustion as you move through.
Yeah, as soon as we start encountering any breathing difficulties, I am putting the hose in my mouth from the breathing apparatus.
So everybody except Ivar takes a level of exhaustion. Eventually, after what seems like hours, the mist gives way to a desolate, barren landscape. The ground is cracked and broken, and in some places it is fused to jagged glass. Some of these areas seem to glow as if the interiors are still cooling from the day of morning. Few plants grow in this region, and those that do appear to be twisted and dangerous. So all around you is the Mournlands is lit as if it's a constant twilight. The sky above you and the air seeming the mist seems to glow and reflect enough light as if it's kind of somewhere between twilight and moonlight, giving you just enough light to navigate by, but too little light to really make much detail beyond, a couple 100 feet. What you can see is in the distance there are flashes of light, brilliant and multicolored, coming from various areas from across the horizon. You don't know the source, and some of them leave no sound. Others make thunderous booms that seem to rumble the ground that you stand upon. And there are several strange land formations that are within sight of you. Some of them are appearing to be somewhat like hills, but they plateau suddenly into completely flat, level areas. Other areas you see quick drop-offs into ravines that you would never have seen had you not gotten within a couple of feet of them. In some places you take a step and the ground is solid. The next step feels like you're walking into spaghetti. It's a moist kind of strangeness to it that your foot sinks in, but it's not being captured or sucked into it quite like mud, but rather this sickening kind of splat. And when you pull your foot up from it, this strange ooze seems to come up with it from the land. And usually these secretions are the color of blood.
So the whole time we're traversing, I would say Elmorn is playing his lute, hoping that Grace will hear it.
Okay. I'll make note of that.
It's too bad we didn't bring any signal flares we could wave around to attract attention.
Or a walking stick.
So, I mean, Elmorn would be open to the idea of not playing it if you guys don't want to attract attention.
Well, we need to find this thing, so I think we have to attract attention. Although we do kind of know where it is, so maybe when we get closer, it might make more sense.
Do I get a sense of distance with this, or is it just direction, right?
Give me an Arcana check.
Alrighty. Ah, fuck it, really? I'm gonna use a thingy. Action point. That's better. 20 cumulative.
So there's a moment after you pass through the barrier of the mist that the doll's head floating before you seems to spark and shudder. and it begins to spin around as if confused, similarly to when you see compasses suddenly encountering a strange magnetic field and they're going haywire. But you are able to refocus your arcane energy to bring it back into control. And it kind of begins pointing more northerly into the Mournland.
Do we only know which direction is north due to Tacitus? Or can we... Is there something that gives us a sense of north?
Nothing in the Mournland that you can see has any ability to give you a sense of your bearings.
So
The sky is completely covered with this mist, as if it's a solid ceiling of roiling mist, and there you can't see any sign of the sun or any of the moons of Eberron. And you guys are walking into the mist in the relatively early morning hours. So it should be brighter in here than it is. Even if this were normal mist, the land would be a bit brighter than it is now. But it seems like regardless of the amount of sunlight beyond the borders of the mist, they can't quite reach within to this land, with the only increases in brightness being the distant flashes of light that you see, some accompanied by sound, some as silent as the grave.
So is it dimly lit or actually dark?
It's dimly lit. It's not something that you would require dark vision to see in.
Okay, good, because I don't want to have to use that.
Does now that Martha is in it, does he have any sense for any sense of what kind of magic this might be, or if he's familiar with his feelings now that he's here?
You only sense this feeling of being overwhelmed. If you do have any acuity or ability to detect magic or see auras of magic, doing so, even before casting the spell, you know that doing so would be foolhardy because there's so much magic within this land. It is so suffused, but it's also such a corrupted form of magic that it might not, your mind might not be able to avoid being broken by the intensity of that sight.
Fair enough. Well, let me rephrase it another way. Is the feeling of being in the Mournland so far reminiscent of my experiences with the angel face creature and the Delkir Azoria?
No, these are totally different.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no relationship there. None that you can. Yeah,
I didn't say that there was. I just meant about feeling.
Right. No, I know. Like the general trend or anything like that. No, this is something that is completely new.
If the doll's not reliably leading us, then, and we don't know the exact distance, then we might as well have Elmorn play the lute or shout out.
Well, I got it pointing now.
I mean, it seems like she comes to the aid of people who are about to die. So even if he attracts monsters, maybe that will bring her in.
Hopefully one of us will be alive. And it would be Elmorn.
Well, then, I mean, if that's the case, then I might be able to do something. I wouldn't want to mess it up, but if it's at all possible, I'd like to cast light on the doll.
Okay. Cast light on the doll.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
lights up.
I wouldn't do it if I felt like it might interfere with the magic in it, but
No.
it should. So and keep it close by and be able to quickly grab it if necessary.
So now you have a little bit more light. You can see some more finer details of the land.
Ivar will give the very football coach like advice. Everybody stay alert.
Stay alert out there, guys.
Keep your head on a
eyes
swivel.
keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes on the ball. Wait.
Oh, yeah. Football, golf. Football.
Good eye. Wait.
Everybody give me a perception check. Everybody but Ivar is at disadvantage because you're all exhausted.
Oh shit, yeah.
Perception. 21.
11.
12.
16.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That disadvantage really fucked me.
Did you roll really well?
Oh, so good, guys. I got a natural 1.
Ooh.
Yes.
I ain't seeing shit.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, our guide is got a 1. Great. All right.
I got distracted casting
Ivar,
the spell.
Email coming your way.
Awesome.
Guys, I like disadvantage. It's super fun. I feel like I don't get to impose it upon my own players often enough, so I seek it out when I play.
Hmm. Oh boy.
So as you're walking, Ivar suddenly yells, "Tacitus, your foot!"
Tacitus, if you respond, you look down and you see that suddenly your leg is completely engulfed in a vine that lifts you up and then smashes you down.
Could have warned me sooner.
Give me a reflex check.
Deck save or
Dexterity saving throw. I'm going 3 right
third
now.
edition. Yeah. I'd also like to
I've
point out
gone plaid.
I'm really good at dex checks, guys.
Oh, at disadvantage as well.
No, that's
No,
not
save.
disadvantage.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right.
That saving throws.
Whew.
the Mournland is so frozen in time that it's still 3.5 in here.
Let's see here. I'd like to yeah, totally, I'll do that. I'm going to try and use my arcane deflection here to give me a +4 on my saving throw, give me a 15.
Okay. You take 4 bludgeoning damage as the vine smashes you into the ground and forces the wind from your lungs in a painful, with that sense of like, yes.
Sure. Got it. Ah! Is it still gripping me?
Yeah, it looks like it's just about to lift you and do it again.
Well, I don't want that, obviously.
Yeah, so this is giving you guys a chance to react before then.
I'll firebolt it. The vine. It feels roughly plant-like, so does it look kind of like a plant vine, or is it more like a a pseudopod of sort?
You can't get a great look at it right now because you're still trying to catch your breath.
Sure. Well then, yeah, I'll just firebolt it. Why not?
Okay. Give me a roll.
Sure.
Ivar, in a rare show, is going to pull his rapier out. Try to pin the thing down with the rapier.
Ooh.
18 to hit.
Just miss.
What?
Just misses.
And an 18. Fuck.
Yeah, your firebolt just flies off. Just past Ivar's ear as he pulls out his rapier.
Don't you stab me.
I got a 22.
All right. So you manage to chop through it. And you guys suddenly hear a piercing scream. Everybody give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I'm good at those.
Better at that than Dex.
I'm going to use an action point.
I'm going to use an action point as well.
I got a 16.
7.
Oh,
Wait. Everybody's within my aura of protection.
Not everybody.
Okay, who's not within 10 feet of me? We're all tied together by rope.
But it was easy release nuts.
Tacitus is outside of it, and so is Ivar because he went and slashed it.
Okay, well, you get +2, whoever's in it. Martha.
okay.
And
All
Pete.
right.
Well, that means I got 28.
I'm gonna use a Tides of Chaos
Okay.
to re-roll that. Oh man.
I got 25.
I'm gonna use another action point to re-roll that.
Jesus, you guys are using your action points far too quickly. Well, we're probably getting close to the end of the
Session's almost
session,
over.
so
I've rolled a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Wow. It's meant to be.
So I'm just gonna live with my my 5 here.
all right. Who rolled above a 14?
I did.
Me.
Most of us did, I think, actually.
Outside of Martha, who did not. All right, Martha. You take 3 psychic damage and are frightened. You're absolutely terrified. You don't know what the source of the fear is, but you are just kind of like you're shitting your pants right now.
All right.
Meanwhile, where Ivar recently cut the vine, the part that's wrapped around Tacitus seems to be withering, but it's withering in a way where it's not becoming weaker. It's more like it's tightening, kind of like jerky. So Tacitus and anybody else, you have like one action to try and get this thing off of you. Otherwise, it's going to constrict and it's going to really be painful. And meanwhile, the other end of the vine is just kind of like flapping around, and you hear this continuous scream that is just ear-splitting to the point where Marthau's ears are visibly bleeding because of the scream.
Now, this thing wrapped around my legs, is it around both my legs?
Just one.
Just the one?
Your right leg.
All right. Lovely. Well then, let's see here.
Can I use the Shadow Blade to try to I use my Shadow Blade to try to swipe through some of it?
Give me a wisdom save to see if you're too frightened to act.
Try a different dice this time. Let's say 14.
That's just enough.
So yeah, he is like shakes. He like quivers as he pulls out his Shadow Blade, but then
that's something you want to hear when you're about to extract a vine from somebody's leg that they're shaking.
I hope I'm gonna. I think I've got this, guys. And Martha goes to try to cut the vine off the leg. Actually, so he pulls it out, and it's a hilt, right? And then there's this giant beast, like shadow thing that comes out, and like as he like the beast comes and tries to swipes at the vine, try to cut it with its claws, because that's what the Shadow Blade does.
So give me a roll.
Not this dice. I'm gonna do an action point. Okay, that's better. That's a 20, not natural.
All right. So the creature that hovers above you that normally responds instantaneously to the blade, actually, it kind of comes around and stares at you for a moment, just looking at you, and you can get this sense of like anger. And with your frightened state, you're kind of like before it turns and then swipes at the vines. Give me your damage roll, and then once it makes the swipe, it disappears.
It's like, why did you bring me to this place?
Right.
10 damage.
All right. So the Shadow Blade's claws rake along Tacitus's leg, cutting through the vines, but still his flesh is cut into a bit, and it cuts into his pants and everything, so he takes the damage as well.
The full 10?
Yeah.
All right. We're off to a great start.
So,
but the vine falls to pieces enough where it's no longer lashed to your leg, and you can see it shrink down even further, and you realize had it stayed on your leg much longer, you might have lost your leg.
Sure.
And then Martha sees this and he says it's a small price to pay.
What
How's
was
Moreland
that?
so far, guys?
I turned to Martha and say, "Why did your shadow thing stop and look at you?"
I have no idea. I had never seen anything like that before in my life. But I'm guessing that it's pretty mad that it's here. Would I have any inkling or ideas why that may be?
The one thing that you know is that this item is not intelligent as far as you've ever known. It's not supposed to demonstrate any kind of intellect.
Get out of here.
The shadow creature that's manifested by the hilt is more of a magical manifestation or construct rather than anything that should demonstrate any kind of intellect. So the fact that it didn't just immediately respond to your movements is incredibly disconcerting.
I think you should just stick with steel until we're out of these mists. Martha's fairly disturbed.
I turn to Tacitus and say, "Didn't I tell you to stay alert?"
Yeah, a whole lot of good that did us, huh?
So you still have the other end of it kind of flapping around and still squealing.
Can I firebolt that one?
You can try.
I will. That's lower than last time. 15.
As you try to firebolt, it just kind of puffs out.
Fuck, do it. I'll try again. One more time.
All right.
Fuck. That would be a big nope.
So puffs out again. So it's not just missing. You're having difficulty even summoning the magic to form fire to throw.
Fucking hate this place already.
Petrie's like tugging on the rope. He's like, "All right, we gotta get moving. Let's go, 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 go."
Yeah, let's just run.
I'll just point in the direction that the thing is going, and then, or that the thing is pointing, and
Did that way. Yeah.
Go that way then. Shall we move with a little more, or with a quicker pace, maybe? Well, probably not. With us finding random cliffs, actually. As fast a pace as we feel safe to do.
Yes, that's the better option.
Well, and the ragged, razor sharp rocks and crystals around us. I mean, you were lucky that they didn't slam you down on one of them.
Indeed.
Yeah. That would have been like getting pierced by an obsidian shard right through the back. That would not have been a good Saturday. I assume it's Saturday. When else would you go into the Morelands?
Clearly, it's a Monday.
Guy's trip into the Morelands.
All right, so you guys are following Grace's doll for a bit. You continue to see the flashes upon the horizon, the various instances of thunder. You also feel some rumbling in the ground that is not necessarily connected to the lightning and the flashes that you see. As you guys are moving forward, everybody give me a dexterity check. Save. Not check.
Save. Okay.
I mean, disadvantage.
No, just
No. Not you guys only have one level of exhaustion. That's just skill checks.
okay. Phew.
Action point.
15.
24.
15.
Oh my god. What do you think, guys? Should I pick the 7 or the 8?
All right.
I'm gonna do it.
I'll add 4 to it, so make it a 12 with my arcane deflection, maybe.
And you may be within 10 feet of Elmore now.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mine's actually a 17 then.
Oh, it's sweet.
Assuming I'm within 10 feet of Elmore, and I got a 12.
Oh wait, this has to be against an attack of some sort. So I probably can't add my arcane deflection, but if I'm within 10 feet, then I got a 10.
All right.
Oh boy. More
This is
vines.
gonna hurt.
Thank God for these easy release knots.
So you can drop the dead weight.
So if you go falling into a pit, we don't all get sucked into it.
Oh no pit to be falling into.
Okay.
As you guys are moving forward, Tacitus and Martha seem to be in the lead, and a sudden geyser of molten lava explodes out in front of you. Unfortunately, Tacitus and Martha are caught in some of the rain and aren't able to react fast enough and get some burns.
I think we die.
Some burns. It's lava.
Yeah, that's how lava works.
They burn you to death.
It doesn't actually touch you, but it gets hot enough to where you get some potential third-degree burns.
Gotcha.
So
I don't have a whole lot of HP here now. I'm a wizard.
Oh boy.
24 damage.
Yikes.
Fire damage.
Maybe you should not lead from the front and just tell us which direction to go.
Out of a scale of 0 to 72, I'm at a 38, guys.
Oh man.
It's real fucking hot, guys. Real fucking hot.
Whew. Yeah, and Martha's he's hurting, but he still has some life left in him.
You guys, you both are able to react in time as well as everybody else, but you're just a half an instant slower. And as this wall of lava lifts from the ground and spurts into the air, you're just too close to it to not be burned. None of it actually touches you because, as others have indicated, that would probably be lethal. Or at least crippling. But you are able to escape it, but some of your clothes actually caught fire, which is part of the reason for the burns, because it's like a flash fire from the sudden increase in heat. And then especially with Tacitus wearing metal armor, that conducted the heat pretty well across his body. And so he has some pretty severe burns all across his chest.
Ow, guys. Ow.
Let's keep going.
Although Ivar says I think maybe I should be at the front. I can see in the dark better than you guys. I've got an air supply, so I'm less woozy. And to be honest, I'm a bit hardier than the wizard.
So, Tacitus, do you want to give the doll to Ivar then, so that it follows next to him rather than you?
I
Transfer the magic.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you just backseat drive rather than me take the haunted doll.
I'll just yeah. Yeah, no, I'll hang on to the doll and just tell him when, what direction we need to be moving. So
All right. So eventually, as you guys continue forward, you see some creatures through the corners of your eyes that, when you look full on, seem to have disappeared or have not been there at all. Other things that you see, you're not quite able to wrap your head around well enough to know what it is that you saw, but just to know that it's disturbing. And that goes on for some time until you come upon what looks like a kind of valley caught between two hills. And within the valley is scores and scores of bodies. The bodies do not look to have decayed at all. They look fresh. The armor is not rusted. The weapons are still sharp. But it is like some of them appear to have fallen in battle. Others appear to have fallen mid-swing with no clear sign as to what it is that caused its death. Some of these bodies seem to be placed in piles, while others are more spread out. And the doll is indicating to go through this.
how big is it? How big of an area? Can we tell?
It's probably about a couple square miles. Actually, it's a really big battle. There's probably 50,000 bodies.
Okay. Can we tell by the armor, like a faction, country, or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems like one side was Sire. The other side was Thrain.
Can you ask the doll for an alternate route?
Recalculating. No, I don't think it works that way.
Yeah.
We have two choices. We could go into the valley, or we can circumnavigate the valley. The doll, presumably, if we have to go into the valley and can't walk around it, the doll presumably will point into the valley, and we can figure that out pretty quickly.
Take the next exit at the sword tsunami.
The tidal wave of swords.
Swordnado!
The second one.
Swordnado versus. I don't know.
I am a little bit concerned that we will go into the valley and then have to fight 50,000 undead.
Well, we have our 2 esteemed paladins. Do you get the sense of any undead here?
I don't know.
Well, Petrie or Elmore, how do you investigate?
I can cast Divine Sense.
I just look at them and I say, they're dead.
I
So-
cast Divine Sense.
So there's 2 things that you learn from your divine sense. 1, you can find no undead creatures in the area. 2, there is some kind of haze over everything that you see. It's not necessarily fiendish. It's not undead. It's not necessarily anything that is explainable because you've never experienced it before.
Just
You've
like
never
Cloud.
seen it with your sight. But yeah, if you think about it, it's almost like you suddenly have like tinted glasses over your sight. There's something suffusing this entire area, not just the area with the bodies, but the entire land that you see, as far as the eye can see, that is deeply disturbing and unsettling. Like a corrupting force of some sort.
So this whole place.
So I do have an idea, but I might go crazy. More crazy than normal, anyway.
Oh, look at that. I think he's grown a little bit. He's become a little self-aware.
So I read in a book once that I can use action points to do cool things. And this cool thing I wanted to do was maybe speak with the dead and maybe have some sort of idea of where to go, or if they are speaking, I can ask them if they're undead.
Petrie,
If they are speaking, I'm pretty sure they're undead.
do you realize that speak with dead is a cleric spell?
Yeah.
And you are a cleric.
Yeah. Yeah, I meant like because I can only use it on one target. I want to use it on a mass scale. And I want to hear if they're talking to one another. Like maybe they're communicating in death to each other, like, oh, they're still fighting, or I don't know.
So that's not typically how the speak with dead spell works. What the speak with dead spell is more like you find a dead body, and then you're not really speaking with the spirit of the body, but rather the sort of resonance or memory, and it you can answer, or you can ask questions that it would answer based on what it knew in life. So you can certainly use an action point to perhaps use it on more than one creature, more than one body, but it wouldn't necessarily allow you to hear if they're communicating with each other. You just ask it questions, and the more complicated the question, the more likely that it wouldn't know how to answer.
Yeah, I'm not sure that.
Know that the best questions to ask would be yes or no questions that are quite simple.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that book actually was pretty wrong, actually. So, we'll just move on.
Which book was wrong?
The A book, the action point book.
Yeah, that book. No, I mean you can still use the action point to do something.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's like normally Petrie's go-to thing, like how he says, "Oh, I read it somewhere."
Oh.
And then he says something dumb.
it's not so dumb. There's probably a lot of information that you can gather from these bodies.
Yeah. But none which should stop them from attacking me.
It's probably going to take us a lot of time to try and get around these things.
So, how about we just run really fast?
So just a clarification, and maybe I missed this detail. Are the bodies still fighting, or are they just kind of laying there?
They're all laying. Some of them have died in, clearly in battle, having been stabbed or otherwise hurt. Others seem to be mid-swing, seem to have fallen mid-swing or don't have a really clear cause of their death.
But all the bodies are basically in like pristine condition.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can even see the fresh blood that has coated the entirety of the ground. It's still fresh. It's still wet. The air smells of that acrid, bloody, kind of irony type of smell.
I guess. Give me 1 second, or actually, give me 10 minutes. We'll see what we learn. I guess I'm gonna ritually cast detect magic. Yeah, we'll go detect magic and see what we get.
Oh, wait a minute. You remember what I said earlier about detect magic, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll throw in an action point.
Okay.
Maybe I can clear away the fog. Just focus on right here.
All right. How are you going to clear it away? Let's get a
Mentally.
description.
Ooh. Well, I don't know if I want to use my abilities for this.
I don't know if you guys are worth it.
Well, I don't know if this is worth it.
Actually, I'll say, hey, Ivor, hold your breath. Let me borrow your thing.
I will let him borrow it.
I'm gonna, I don't know, just have like a nozzle to like adjust the flow here.
Yeah.
I'll do that to blow away some of the fog mist around a spot of it.
Well,
So,
you guys are not in the mist right now.
We're not in the mist.
Okay.
Oh, so we can see pretty far ahead of us then.
Well, you can
Except
see
you're
as far as like you put in like strong moonlight or
Yeah.
dark twilight.
Okay.
With double disadvantage, basically.
Let's say
That's essentially.
how far away is like the closest body?
How far away do you want it to be?
I mean, before you risk casting detect magic, maybe you were in the Siren military. Maybe we could just go down and investigate and figure out something without plowing into the middle of them all.
Yeah, we can go close.
Like, for example, if they get up and start marching towards us, we know that there's a problem.
And to back up immediately.
I could bring back one of the Thrains, and they might recognize my symbol, and maybe they could guide us through here.
How would you bring him back?
Revivify.
Revivify only works on somebody that's been dead for less than a minute.
I mean, it seems like they've kind of been put into a stasis.
I actually don't look forward to raising the dead and then explaining to them what just happened.
Yeah, actually.
Typically not.
I'll also give you this, guys. I'll give you a reminder. Martha's intelligence stated that healing magic doesn't work the way that it normally works in the Mornland.
How does it work?
Well, that is something that you guys will need to figure out.
Hey, Elmore, hit me with 1 point of your lay on hands. See what happens.
You really want me to?
I mean, I need it, so
Okay, I'll hit him with 1 point of lay on hands.
it might take 2. We'll see.
For good measure, I'll hit him with 2.
All right, Elmorn.
That's 200 necrotic damage.
No, make a caster check. So that's just a d20 plus your charisma.
Plus my charisma or plus my spell?
Plus a d20.
D20 plus charisma is your spellcaster check.
I was saying, or my spell attack bonus. But... All right. 19.
All right. So you are able to get some healing, Tacitus.
Some.
It's not quite as effective.
Sure.
You only get 1 point of healing.
Well, I mean,
And Elmorn, you notice that summoning this magic to heal the injuries that Tacitus has was incredibly difficult for you. It was almost like exhausting. You feel like sweat beating upon your brow, and your breath is quickening a bit because it's almost like you've been running for quite some time in order to summon the energy that you needed to do so. So there's
level 1 exhaustion.
What's that?
I said I write it off to the level 1 exhaustion.
Sure. But just so you get a sense of like what it's like to try and bring about healing magic in the Mornland.
Well, speaking of exhaustion, I'm about done.
about to toss it there.
I'm tottering on the edge of darkness, so I gotta duck out.
I love your hair. It makes the whole image complete.
Yeah.
We were about to have another owlbear.
That would be great. But yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Is everybody else good with stopping here? Does everybody else want to continue on?
It's past 1 my time, so it's a good time to stop, I think.
All right.
Yeah. I got D&D tomorrow too, and Sunday.
Nice.
Next week we're doing my game again, so we're off next week.
So yeah, the way it's gonna work is the first Thursday of the month will be Kurt's game, and then every other Thursday will be my game.
Okay.
And for those that are able to stay on for a minute, I'd just like to get some feedback. What you thought about tonight's session, especially since it's my first one in a while DMing, how people thought it went, if there's any good things that happened, any criticisms or things that people would like to see different.
I'll tell you my feedback later. All right, see you, man.
Later.
I thought it was good. I liked your little written description of the mists and the moorlands. That was good.
Yeah, I never write shit like that.
I think the problem might have been us. We were just very slow to do anything.
Yeah, I felt like there was some lulls, but I don't know if it was because of you or because of us, like he said. Yeah.
I felt like it was mostly because of us, because you had asked, like, well, what do you guys want to do? And I hadn't really thought about it. So,
Yeah.
And there was a good chunk of kind of catching up, getting everybody back into the flow
it's
of
been
things.
ages. Yeah.
Connecting, because we've been off for a while, so connecting what we were doing in the past to what we're trying to do now.
I still need to know exactly what happened to my my mind sequence.
And if you'd like, we could settle it right now.
Go for it.
All right. So but first of all, any other comments or criticisms or anything that people think might be able to make for a better experience?
No, all of this of the Mournland so far, it's just random. Like I wasn't expecting a lava plume. I wasn't expecting some crazy vines to attack us. Like it's good. Like this is what I expected, but didn't want to expect.
Yeah, I mean, I think for our first session back, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while to get back into characters as well, because fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, my accent has sort of drifted from whatever it was I was doing previously to something more New York.
Yeah, and Elmore is now Kratos, just from now on.
Yeah, okay. That's all right. Yeah.
Hey, one good thing, outside of me being an idiot and stopping the broadcast in the last video,
no dropouts.
No technical issues.
Yep.
Yeah. God, last week it was so bad.
Oh my god. After that, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do a factory wipe on my computer. And then it wouldn't let me. So I was like, fuck. Now I got to take it to Geek Squad, the place I hate most. Because I should be able to do it myself. Yeah.
I hope they didn't make you pay an arm and a leg there. Geek Squad's pretty bad about that sometimes.
Yeah, that was $150.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for a reimage.
Yeah. They tried to be like, hey, so we need to do a factory wipe. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I told you that when I brought it in. And they're like, yeah, well, we tried to not do that, but now we have to. Do you want us to back up your data? That's going to cost $100 extra. I'm like, dude, I already backed it up.
Good, yeah. No, because that's a rip. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I got what is it, like a 60 gigabyte disk or stick drive, and I was just like,
yep, no, good. Yeah, that's fucked. They know how to get you.
yeah.
Well, people who don't know how to do it anyway.
Working like a charm now, so.
Hell yeah. Right, let's see the sequence.
All right, so task this. You got heroism cast.
Yeah.
You got an action point reinforced healing word. And you even got a little bit of bardic inspiration in here. As all this is going on. So just to set the scene for everybody, your characters won't know this.
Okay.
But you as people can. Right now, well, Tony, do you want to fill them in?
Basically, I was just trying to work on my brain by like, just seeing if maybe it would, do anything. I didn't know what else to do, so I started just challenging people to Dragon's Chess in a way to sort of sharpen the mind. One time I sit down and like there's just like a voice in my head, recognize the voice as Zorchiklik. Suddenly I'm like in this sort of weird fucking Doctor Who sequence where I'm like just me and him in a blank space, having a battle of the wits, sort of thing. And basically, I challenged him to a game of Dragon's Chess. With the stakes being, I get some of his mental acuity if I win. If he wins, then he's asking for a minute within my body with control.
Oh boy. Did you win?
That's
know
what
yet.
we're about to find out. By the way, this was inspired. Does anybody ever read Order of the Stick?
I used to, haven't in a while.
Tony, do you know it at all?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, I was inspired by this. Kurt, you might remember when Varsuvius made the pact with the devils,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did the familicide spell.
Yep.
That whole arc. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Anyways, I gotta bounce. I'm gonna watch this later though. This looks cool. All right, bye.
All right, take care. All right, so the chess set has manifested.
Mm.
It's you and him. He appears annoyed or kind of bemused in a kind of looking down on you with this game. And he makes his opening move, which is one that you recognize as kind of a novice move.
Right. When I actually responded to that email, a little bit before I was able to join in. Let me find it. Not that one. Yeah, so basically, even though it's a beginner move, I wouldn't. I'll take that with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I may have given him the basics, but he's a smart dude. He could be trying to lull me into a false sense of security. And so I would just I'm not very good at bluffing or anything like that either. Indicated by my 8 charisma.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a little bit of intimidation tactics that I can use, mainly like make him question every move that he's doing. He goes to move a piece. I'm like, that's an interesting choice. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, got it.
All right. So here's how we're gonna.
I had one thought. I don't know if maybe I'd be kind of hard considering the situation that I'm in, but I could try kind of using my sort of segmented, my separated bit that I'm thinking through as well. I don't know if it would be possible to sort of somehow internalize into this space that synaptic static spell and drop it on him, which basically just sort of, if they fail to save, it makes them become sort of befuddled.
All right. So So here's what I'm thinking. We're going to make this like a skill challenge. It's going to be 7 checks. Okay.
Sure.
You need to win 4 of them in order to. You're going to need to win 4 of them in order to best him.
World Series, got it.
So you have access to heroism. You have access to a healing word that has been lifted by an action point. You have access to a bardic inspiration. Now with this synaptic static, you have 2 options. Because the game session for tonight has ended, you can borrow action points for next session. If you borrow an action point for next session, so you'll start with 1 less, you can cast Synaptic Static. But Zorchilik will know, and he'll be prepared. You can use 2 action points and do it without him being able to detect it.
Interesting. So what if I use 2 and then the 1 remaining one I had from tonight?
They're all gone. So the way that I see it, you have, out of 7 checks, you have 4 potential things that could assist you. And you can also describe others.
Sure.
But you can only use 1 thing per check. And we need to describe exactly how it helps you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Phone a friend.
Man, really wish I had like detect thought. That'd be so handy right now.
But would it be too meta? Would you detect his thoughts, detecting your thoughts, and then detecting his thoughts and detecting yours?
Well, I get them in a feedback loop. Maybe I fry them out. Well, let's see what how my current options work for me then. And see, and we'll, yeah. Well, I'll work with what I have and use spells as a last ditch effort because I know it's dangerous to do that. So.
All right. And we're not going to do like, I'm not going to make you decide now how you're doing everything and then we'll do the checks. We'll do the checks, and based on the success and failure, you can determine how you want to use them.
Okay. The healing word, what exactly would that do for me?
I don't know. You got to figure that out. How would you use it? How would it be helpful? Is it helpful?
It could potentially sort of revitalize at a point where I'm feeling mentally drained.
So another thing to remember, this is your mindscape.
Mm-hmm.
This is your playground.
So I'm stuck here forever.
We never left.
We never left. We're still there. All right.
All right. So the first check, unless you have a specific action that you want to do that would require a different check, is going to be opposed rolls in terms of the dragon chess.
Right.
Efficiency.
I imagine that's just intelligence and proficiency if it applies.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go ahead and take out my little bonus that I was using here for this session. So just use my base score again because it does make a difference. So, all right. Because I did have a random idea to use for the bardic inspiration. Actually,
Okay.
I thought of making a apparition of Marthal appear that is singing to Zorchiklik as a sort of distraction for him.
Okay.
I'm used to it by now. I've been traveling with them for a while. I know how to zone them out.
Okay. So now it's when you want to use that. Do you want to start off with using that, or do you want to use that later on?
Maybe.
And also, do you want this opening check to be just dragon chess, or do you have something else in mind? Because so the way that I do skill checks or skill challenges is I kind of outline the challenge, the general challenge, and then I'll adjust as we go along. But really, what the challenge is based on what you do, and then I'll determine what the check would be, what the opposed check.
Sure.
And then also another thing. Are you okay with us just rolling the dice? Do you want to roll the dice on camera so that the dice are seen, or do you want to do electronic dice rolls?
I'd probably let's see if I can trust my dice here. All right, guys. What do you think? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll roll it.
Okay. Do you want to roll it on camera, or are you okay with just rolling it? And just
I'll show it. I don't care. I can move my camera pretty easy. So
I'm more asking. Do you want me to show my die rolls?
I mean, I guess that's up to you. I mean, if you want me to see if he has any bonuses or not.
No, I mean it's just I want this to be above board. I want because I know that you're risking potentially a lot, and so I want you to know that I'm playing fair. So if you trust me to just roll and be upfront, cool. But I also understand if you would want a little bit more.
I mean, I don't mind. It could be a suspense thing for any potential audience members. Where you like do you do like a slow reveal and
okay.
Don't trust them. Yeah, I mean the Marthal distraction would probably be just a little bit after we start. We get like early game done, start to get to the mid game section of the match.
Okay, so you want to do the opening move, just pure dragon chest.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll just be a pros dragon chess. rolls. For the first one.
Yep.
All right.
All right, I got 4 dice here to choose from.
Let me know when you want me to roll.
I gotta pick my dice. I gotta pick my weapon.
I'm using my metal D20 for this one.
That's one of my options. I got metal. I got hematite. I got sandstone. And I got orange heartwood. I got my exotics. Let's go metal, huh? Metal.
All right. Ready?
Going now.
Alright.
All right, let's see here. Intelligence plus proficiency. Okay. So I get a +7. Not terrible. All right, I'll show it to you.
All right.
Oh, or not. Fuck, this cord's too short. God damn it.
I trust you, man.
11 on the die, so 18 total.
I had a 17 on the die.
Fuck.
26. So,
Damn it.
Zorchiklik takes an early lead in the dragon chess.
Using some moves, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. How did they know to do that? Goddamn. I sent them the rules. Okay. Sure. It's fine. He's
So
falling.
Zorchiklik.
Dubai. No, wait.
Yeah, so Zorchiklik is kind of like, this dragon chess is amusing. It's not as complicated as one might think at the beginning. Once, of course, you get the strategy of it all. It's kind of similar to things that we do in my... Well, it's similar to things that I've experienced.
I'm quite sure. Martha. I'm not sure what kind of roll would be used there.
Oh, I know exactly what kind of roll is going to be used there.
Hopefully not my
So
own.
you're going to do a performance check
Ugh.
with a bardic inspiration.
Performance.
So Marthau is a level 3 bard. I believe that's still a D6 inspiration dice. So you can do your performance check with the D6, and then it would be against Zorchiklik's insight. And let's see.
Confirm it is a D6.
Hold on 1 second. Let me figure out what this... Okay.
Unfortunately, I have a natural -1. So all I'm getting is what I roll -1.
Well, plus the D6.
Yeah, no. What I roll -1.
Don't worry, I'm not making this impossible because Zorchiklik is... He's there, but he's not.
Uh-huh.
An example that is somewhat relevant is Lashiel in Dresden.
Is that in a book?
The Dresden Files?
I've only
Have you
seen
not
this.
read it?
I've only seen the show.
Oh my God, Tony,
I know.
get on that.
I actually own 2 books.
Read them. Start with Stormfront. It is a game changer. Once you read Stormfront, you're not going to be able to stop reading any. I got them all on Audible, and I read through all of them back to back, nonstop. And there's like, I don't know, 17 books.
I know there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And they just released a new one right now, and I'm like, shit, I can't get it because I just canceled my subscription to Audible because I have too many books. But Dresden. And they got a new one coming out, and I can't wait, man, because, oh my God, let's get on with this. Because all right.
All right, performance. 20
I'm using my purple dice.
I'm using my hematite. Come on. I know you can do this. You can do it. Got this. Yeah. 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 You got shit. I got a 5.
I rolled a total of 14.
Total 5. I got a 5 on the D20 and a 1 on the D6.
Yeah. It's not looking good. You're off to a rough start. Still, but hey, still 5 moves left. So you use the bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
All right, and so that was performance versus insight. We've done game checks, and then we've done the distraction check. So the way that it works out, Zor Chiglik is looking at the game board, kind of. He's not stroking his tentacles because, as you've noticed before, he doesn't really move his arms. They kind of stay pasted to his side. But he's using one of his tentacles on the right side to kind of stroke the other tentacles. And then as he's like considering his next move, suddenly the apparition of Martha comes up, belting out his song. I imagine him with the big drum at the front of his chest, kind of going like...
Why? I mean, why not make it a big, like one of those wind-up monkeys, and it's got cymbals.
Yeah, so it's Martha dressed up like a monkey.
You got to cut this last bit out and just send it to him.
But as that's happening, and you have this smile on your face like, yeah, try and get a move out with that, he makes a move that puts you in danger. Takes one of your key pieces.
And I just think that, oh, interesting choice. Interesting choice. I mean, if that's what you really want to do, that's fine. Right.
It's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you know what? We all make mistakes.
So are you trying to bluff him now? Is that the next check?
It's a terrible one.
Maybe you can use your heroism for that one.
I'm thinking of how it might work. I don't know. Because that just makes me immune to fear and gives me temporary hit points.
What I'm going to say in this context does is it gives you a sense of bravado that is so strong that it's convincing, which would give you advantage on your check.
So I'll try it.
All right. So what is it that you're? Which check are you going to be doing? Is this deception then?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I want to make him second guess himself.
Okay. So then it's your deception versus his insight.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to use my red or orange. I don't think I have red, so it's orange. I'm going to use my orange see-through dice.
All right. Okay. And then advantage roll gilded sandstone or hematite. Hematite, you didn't do me right. I'm gonna trust you this time though. You got this. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as good as the other roll, but deception. Oh fuck, I'm bad at that. -1. 17.
I'm just going to show you what I rolled.
I'll take it. You know, I'll take it.
So that's 2 wins. Natural 1.
I'll definitely take it.
But now it's all of a sudden tied. So go ahead and describe how that goes.
The stroking, the tentacle stroking gets a little more. It goes faster. He gets quicker about it. Clearly, starting to like wait. Maybe is he just? Does he know something I don't? Maybe I don't know. Whatever his thought is, I wouldn't be 100% certain. I'm just picturing him like stopping for a moment. I still imagine Marthal being there though. He doesn't go away.
So you basically gave him a bit of a complex
Mhm.
on top of Martha playing, which just completely tripped him up.
Yeah. And now he switched styles. Now he's doing like mariachi
That's definitely difficult.
with that like weird fucking big fat guitar.
All right, so now you have your healing word with your action point surge on top of that.
Mm.
And then whatever other moves that you want to attempt. So what is the next way that actually no. You've been dictating this. Now he's dictating this a little bit.
Sure.
So tell me, what is the most disturbing, heart-wrenching memory that Tacitus has?
Probably most likely the whole, loss of his family. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. That's sort of his cornerstone, if you will, to borrow a term from Westworld. It's kind of it's his tragic backstory. So, the loss of his family is the one thing that drives him the most. And the fact that, we are going here to help, to maybe help Elmore find somebody in his own family, it's important to him that somebody has the family.
So as Zord Chiklik is planning his next move, he's implanting these thoughts in your head to make you think of your family and to see them being slaughtered by the day of mourning in very graphic, vivid detail that is very traumatizing. So now this is an insight check for you. And which dice am I going to use this time? I'm going to use my bear's dice. Blue and orange.
I'll use that healing word thing now, probably.
How are you going to use it? Did you already roll?
No, I haven't rolled yet, no.
Okay. How would you like to use the healing word?
So he's
Keep in mind, an action point was spent on the healing word, so you have some flexibility in how it's used.
so he's spending this time implanting these thoughts into my head, all the while it's sort of like a Hulk moment where I'm always angry sort of moment. It's like, yeah, you can implant these things in my head. They're already there anyways, all you're doing now is distracting yourself. So he's spending effort doing that instead of concentrating on the game.
So what I'm going to do for you there is I'm going to give you an additional +2 bonus to your check.
Okay.
So you're doing insight. Ready? Have you picked your dice?
Yep. +2, so gives me total +3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Roll it. Oh shit. Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Oh, so did I.
Really?
Yeah.
So that one's a wash.
Interesting.
So it's still 2 wins to 2 losses. So nobody wins until they get to 4.
Indeed. Okay.
So now, what's your next move? You are once again dictating the next move. Next one I'm using is my green dice.
Perhaps I can use my tactical wit to give me a little advantage. Just, I'm concentrating extra hard on the game.
What's your tactical wit do?
Normally gives me a bonus to initiative rolls equal to my intelligence modifier. But I sort of imagine it as a sort of an awareness of the battlefield. So the chessboard is a sort of miniature battlefield.
Okay. I can give you a +2 for your tactical wit. And the way it will be worked is it'll be another dragon dice or dragon chess roll.
Sure.
Straight up game roll. So hold on a second.
That'll be helpful. Give me a total +9 instead of 7.
All right. Let me know when you've chosen your dice. And you know what's scary? Is if I get a critical success, Zerchiklik wins. If you get a critical success, you win.
What if
So
we
it
both
could be
get crit
decided
success?
right here. If we both get crit successes, it's a wash. We go on.
We explode. All right. Let's do this.
All right.
Plus,
You got
plus
it.
9. Plus 9. I'm rolling now.
Roll it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. It's good.
Total 19.
Way above that. Total 26.
That's not a crit. Almost
No.
a crit.
No, not quite.
You almost critted.
I was off by 3. 17 on the die.
All right. So now you've managed to score 1 up. So describe how that happens.
He all of his second guessing is he's starting to make bad moves. I keep it up. It's like, oh, interesting choice. Okay, all right, sure. That's one way to do it, you know. If you, okay, yeah, you do that then. If you do that, then I do this.
You ever see the episode of Frasier where he's trying to beat his dad in chess? He got that new fancy chess set.
I probably have, but it's been a really long time.
That's what it reminds me of. All right.
Doesn't I don't know, you ever see? I'm pretty sure like, it's been a long time since I've watched it too. But Big Bang Theory, I think, didn't Penny beat Sheldon at chess? Or maybe it was.
Ooh,
Maybe
I can't even imagine what that would be like if that happened.
I'm pretty sure she beat somebody. I don't remember. But yeah. So there was that.
Right. So you've used your tactical wit.
Mm-hmm.
So that is done now. So Zorchiklik is dictating the terms of this next move. So this one is suddenly you feel a huge pain in your chest. You look down and you see a knife protruding from your chest, being held by a little hand that is green and scaly. And you look to your left and you see poking around from your shoulder the long craning neck of a kobold giggling.
Interesting.
Zorchiklik is using his mind powers now. And so now you are just going to do a straight up Constitution saving throw to try and get through this. So this one, unlike the others, is not going to be an opposed check. I'm setting the DC.
Okay.
You have an option to try and use some ability of yours to counter. You just can't use any abilities that you've already used.
Right. Well, I got my arcane deflection, which I'll probably attempt to use. And I probably can't really...
Arcane deflection is only for attacks, isn't it? I thought it doesn't work for saving throws.
And attacks and saving throws against... So, yeah, so when you are hit by an attack or you fail the saving throw, actually, it's normally how it goes. Now that I see that, but you basically use a reaction to either increase my AC by 2 or increase my saving throw by 4.
Okay.
And then it has the little caveat of the next turn you can only cast cantrips.
All right, so then this one is going to come with a double-edged sword. If you use this and you win, that'll give you 4 wins. If you use it and you lose, it'll give Zorchiklik a win, and your next roll, whatever it's going to be, is going to be at disadvantage.
Con save, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I've written down the DC. It is one that is achievable to you.
Fuck it, I'll give it a shot. I'll try it. This probably also probably doesn't really fall under my my Warcaster's ability to give me advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration. I'm kind of concentrating on a game, but
No.
no.
Nice try, but nope.
All right. Luckily, I have an okay con, so with a +4, it'll be +6 total. All right. It's got to be done right. Got to pick the right dice. They came across.
Nice. I was hoping you did. Another little Zorchiklik kind of distraction.
I'm gonna do this. I'm going to let you choose your demise.
Ah.
All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna arrange these. I'm gonna have you pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right. Let me arrange these here. Very, very randomly. Okay. Okay.
3.
Hematite it is. +6 is what I get to add. All right. Okay. All right. All right. 19. DC 16. All right.
You have bested Zorchiklik.
Hey, I mean, you did pretty good for a beginner.
Be glad that I allow you to keep this memory and don't turn you insane.
Sure, sure. Yeah. I really want to hit him with some sort of spell, but I don't know what sort of lasting effect it might have. Like the synaptic static, for instance. It seems so dangerous. It seems like a risk I shouldn't take just yet. I must better understand the situation before I do anything like that. I shall.
I am going to make you one offer.
Okay.
A double or nothing.
Sure.
You can get your intelligence point, and then you can name another boon. And if you lose, not only does Zorchiklik get that minute, but your intelligence will drain by 2.
That'll benefit nobody.
But you get to name the boon.
What's the nature of the roll?
It's going to be a straight D20, no modifier.
My dice won't like that. I already feel that right now. It's emanating. Don't fucking do that. What are you doing? Probably wouldn't be able to have a boon of immediately go to 10th level.
No, not quite that powerful. But maybe a feat. In addition to your point of intelligence. I like Kurt. Bet everything. You only live once.
Trying to think if having a quick look through feats here to see if there's really anything that would be handy here. Be worth a potential.
Your intelligence is your main casting stat. So I don't want to potentially give you a penalty to something that is kind of core to your character. But what if I gave you a penalty instead to your dexterity, potentially?
You'd only need to take 1 point from that. It's only out of 10. It'd be even worse at dex saves. I could go for that.
So wait, just to make sure that we got the term set. So this is because you were fighting for 1 point of intelligence.
Mm.
So now it would potentially be 1 point of intelligence plus a feat, right? So 1 point of dexterity seems a little bit too small. So what's something else that you're willing to wager? Like it could be 1 point of dexterity and one other thing, or you could put something else.
Let's see.
Oh, so wait a minute. Actually, let me clarify. Because you're getting 1 point of intelligence right now. If we do the double or nothing, you'll get 1 point of intelligence plus a feat. For Zorchiklik, he'll get that minute and then the minus dexterity. So actually that evens out.
Okay. Let me have a quick another look here. That's probably not any good. I don't need Sentinel.
I've chosen my dice. I'm using my blue and neon green.
I think it only seems fitting that if I win this, I get the lucky feat.
All right. Willing to go for it? Straight D20, no modifier.
Sure.
All right. Let me know when you've chosen your dice.
Okay. So, pick 1, 2, 3, or 4.
1.
Pick 2, 3, or 4.
4.
Pick 2 or 3.
3.
All right.
All right, we're gonna roll on 3.
All right.
You know when you're ready.
Gotta loosen up the rest here. All right, let's do this. Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Shit. Rolled off the table.
New die. New die.
All right. All right. New roll. I totally fucking missed the bucket. Shit. Sorry. All right. What am I going to use? Which one? I haven't used purple. Have I? No. All right. I haven't used purple. I'm going to go purple.
So if we tie, is that a reroll?
Yeah.
Do you expect me to reroll, or do I get to keep this?
We both reroll.
Oh, come on. I didn't drop my dice.
Oh, wait a minute. So you've already rolled.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
rolled on the
keeping
3.
Okay. Damn it. All right. So I'm rolling. I got a 9.
14.
Congratulations. You have bested Zorchiklik.
See if I could do this. I don't know if you can.
I trust you, man.
I'm like, ooh, that's like a rough one because like there's 5 numbers you could roll. That was an awful lot of numbers, but chances were in my favor. So I should do that. I should do that more often. Just make you pick which dice I roll so that I beat you.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
It was very stressful, but it was fine. Let's see. Add a feat. Manage.
So Zorchiklik fades into the background and says, "This is not over."
Oh, I know. I know.
And while you get the boons, you have only a vague recollection of what's happened.
Okay.
So you're not 100% sure that what you saw was Zorchiklik I mean, Martha still has that message that you sent him, but your memory is really foggy in terms of what's been going on and what you can trust from yourself in terms of all of that.
I'll write down everything that I do remember, just in case.
Well, that's what the key mind speed is for, right?
Yeah, but I mean that goes for a month. I remember a month of stuff.
Yeah.
For after that month, I'm still going to write it down, just to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was my good old wooden dice. Came through for me. Alrighty.
I'm happy for you. I'm not so happy that you got the lucky feet. I wish you would have picked a different one. But, you know, that's all right.
Tell me if that link works there. I'm curious.
Doesn't.
No? I can get you an updated character sheet for you then, if you want.
Sure. That'll work. Well, wait a minute. So your intelligence
The link
save.
works.
Huh?
The link works for me.
Do you have D&D Beyond?
Nope.
All right. Let me try and copy and paste it, because it doesn't work as a hyperlink.
Yeah, it didn't really paste as a hyperlink.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, there you go. That's my character.
Swanky.
This look was just done today. They updated their site earlier today. It used to look different from this.
That's cool with that thing that's floating right by Tacitus.
Yeah. I'm able to put a picture in there, but I've never been able to find a good picture to represent Tacitus. So
So your intelligence is going up to 8.
18. Yep, I put that in, and I now have the lucky feet, which is all tracked here. I'm down to 39 out of 72 hit points. Yeah. Tells me here I have advantage to maintain concentration on spells, my proficiencies and skills, stuff like that. Yeah. It's pretty handy. If I were a fighter, I guess it would tell me I have more attacks per action. Also kind of cool.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah. I hope so. I pay a lot of fucking money for it. But I get to keep it, so.
Was it a one-time fee or is it a subscription?
There's a subscription for some things, like for the number of characters and campaigns that you can have. Or no, there's still, I think they only have a 3 campaign limit, but no matter what. But the character limit is like 2 if you don't pay. I bought a year just so I can dick around with it, and so
Cool.
yeah. They even have Matt Mercer's Blood Hunter in here. I think they have his gunslinger in here too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that they added a couple of third-party things to it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting to bed.
Yeah.
I'm tired of shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations on winning against her Chickley.
It was very stressful.
That's my second ever skill challenge.
Yeah.
I usually don't use skill challenges, but that worked out well.
Yeah. If a time comes, I'll use it. I haven't really had much opportunity to do them myself, so I thought of one after the fact. I'm like, oh, that would have been a good place. Oh well.
Was it when the players were escaping the prison or whatever?
No. That one, that whole scenario was quite amusing just for myself, really. With the beholder warden, because the beholder took a shine to one of the players. Basically, I had this beholder obsessed with perfect roundness. And so I'm like, so let's see here. We got 3 characters, because the elf wouldn't really fit in, but we got 3 humans here, or one of them's a half elf, but so I'm like, one of them's, I'm determining right now, has a very round head. So I rolled randomly. And so the beholder was basically like sort of scanned the newcomers and focused on that one. You.
It scared the piss out of that player, I'm sure.
I'm sure it was very odd for him, considering he didn't sleep in any of the cells like all the other prisoners. He was kept in the warden's place. The warden kept him as a round thing to keep.
Yeah, as a bauble.
Yeah, he had a lot of baubles, a lot of very round baubles. One including a scrying orb, which they promptly stole whenever they left the place. But then they went back in to break somebody out, and the beholder became aware, and he was like, "Give me my orb. It's not yours." He just demanded that. Once they gave it to him, he'd let him go. He didn't care.
Well,
he got what he wanted.
It's fair. Oh man, I gotta get to bed. You have a good night.
Yeah. You have a good one, man.